Hello my friends and very welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to review a controversial topic from a series called Change My Mind, and the name of the topic is
There are only two genders.
Change my mind.
Yeah, I think there are two genders, male and female.
You're saying that male and female is a gender, not a sex?
Yes.
Okay, you probably have a penis, a male sex organ, as would I, but...
Why would you assume that?
Do you?
But you assumed it, though.
Okay, I did, I apologize.
It's interesting to me that you assumed that I have a penis.
Right.
Why?
Because you seem... I don't know, man. Male and female is different than being a man or a woman.
Well, let me ask you this then. How many genders are there? Because we as a society, right, have to know this. We have to function within certain parameters.
And I would say that those parameters for gender would be whatever that person wants those. It's not my place or your place to tell them that they have to identify with being a man even if they are male, or they have to identify as a woman even if they're female.
So why is it a problem to do it if someone we know biologically is a male or a female? And that can never be changed. It can never be changed biologically. But someone chooses to say that they're not. That's a very modern.
I could dress up as Michael Jordan and paint myself black and wear stilts. At the end of the day, I'm still not Michael Jordan. I'm still me, just like these people. You cannot paint a cauliflower green and call it a broccoli. It's still a fucking cauliflower. Laurel Hubbard. It was a male, went undergone an operation to become a female. Kiwi girl, she then went to Olympics and won plenty of medals in weightlifting. That shit is not fair. She grew up through different puberty. She has different bones, different muscles. She couldn't beat the boys, so she joined the girls.
You see somebody that you would presume to be male.
Sure. As you did, yeah.
Yes.
And so if
But if you had told me that you, in fact, don't identify as being a man, that you identify as being a woman, I would believe that would be wrong of me to try and subscribe you to being a man.
If I told you that I believe I am a bobcat,
Good for you, man.
what would you accept that?
Yes.
Really?
Bobcat, man. Go for it. Great for you. I hope you're the best bobcat on the fucking earth, man.
I mean, if you want to identify yourself as a bobcat, would you even go to the doctor? Or would you go to the veterinarian? Or the zoologist? Because you're an animal.
So how many genders are there?
You can't put a number on the number of genders because everyone uses different words to classify themselves. What gender do you think you are?
Well, I'm a male.
Okay, well I think you're a woman.
No, legally I'm a male.
Oh,
It says on my driver's license that I'm a male.
what if I say I don't believe you?
It doesn't matter.
Exactly, it doesn't matter if you don't believe me.
No, it doesn't matter because biologically...
What gender do you think I am?
I would assume you're female.
Yeah, see, you're making assumptions.
Yes.
I identify as non-binary. It does matter.
Now, let me ask you this. What would you say if I
It matters
have...
what pronouns you use for me. It matters how I'm
Okay.
socialized in society. It matters my gender expression. It matters the way that I'm allowed to express myself. It matters what bathroom I use. It matters who I'm allowed to live with. It affects every aspect of my life. So you saying...
What pronoun should I use?
You should use they, them pronouns. So you saying that you
And
don't
what if I
believe
don't?
me...
What if I don't?
If you don't, I would consider that disrespectful, and that's actually an act of violence to misgender a trans
It's an
person,
act of
or-
violence.
That is an act of violence to intentionally misgender someone. Yeah.
I mean, the whole they, there, them thing, it's impossible. If that was the case, you would have to remember pronouns for 7.6 billion different other people. How am I going to sit there and upon first meeting know that you've actually got a penis and prefer to be called John? Do what makes you happy. Everything else just seems to be a massive inconvenience where people want to scream for attention.
Okay, when you misgender someone, if you were to misgender a trans woman,
Yes.
trans women, especially trans women of color, have the highest rate of murder within the LGBT community, right? So if you were to intentionally misgender a trans woman, that could put her at risk of murder. She, her, hers, him, his, her, his.
Okay.
Sorry, him, he, him, his, and they, them, theirs.
how do you know if it's a crime against someone's personality if you call someone he and she feels like she today and tomorrow she's going to feel something different?
Can I please have your attention, lady? I'm not a lady. I'm not a man.
and maybe
Wait, okay. No, it's one scratch.
So there are only two genders, male and female. She's saying it dictates her life on what social groups she can get into, what she can and what she cannot do, what toilets she can and cannot use. But she's saying that you cannot put a number on how many genders there are. Should we have an infinite amount of public restrooms? Male, female, male who wants to go female, female who wants to go male, halfway in between, undecided, bloody Eric Banner the Hulk. Like, should we have one for everyone? A Sky Tower of just toilets, a toilet tower?
That's very new. And there's no biological backing behind this theory. It is based on an emotive response. So I don't agree that gender and sex are separate. Legal documentation sometimes don't say they're separate. We're trying to adapt that now based on how people feel. And I don't think that we should adapt the law considering something an act of violence because someone uses a pronoun which is biologically correct. The point is that language is a reflection of standards that we have as a society. Are doctors sexist?
I think some doctors are sexist.
Are doctors transphobic if they refer to their patients who have a penis and they come in for a prostate exam as a male? Is that doctor hate speaking? Is that an act of aggression?
I think if that doctor misgenders their patient, then yeah, they are being transphobic.
The DSM-5 is what determines gender dysphoria. It's actually a clinical condition, meaning
there's a lot of body dysmorphia.
Bodybuilders are often considered to have body dysmorphia, right? They view but we view that as unhealthy. A bodybuilder can look in the mirror, for example, after steroids and come down off a cycle and say, oh man, I'm a wimp, and they're huge. That's body dysmorphia. We often give them counseling. Well, if you look at the suicide rate, and you look at the medical issues, whether it's pre or post-op, it's very, very high in the transgender community, and they are treating it right now as a biological one, right? Transgenderism. You said it was behavioral.
It may be behavioral, it may be biological. At this point, where science is, it is a full biological change to go from one sex to the other. However, it is obviously as a result of one's behavioral thinking, behavioral patterns. I think it goes beyond the transsexual side of things and the confusion there of them being confused about themselves. But people just in general want to look so different. Massively colored hair, the crazy clothes.
If it's coming from a confidence, not because you want to hide your trauma, why not? I think it's absolutely amazing to look different.
But now we are literally getting to the point where people want to be so different and accepted for it, with the fully tattooed faces, the strange piercings all over the body, eyeball piercing, tooth coloring, lip tattoos, trying and pushing so hard to have an individual identity that they don't actually feel comfortable within themselves, which is why they change their physicalities about them.
I mean, I actually enjoy listening to these two individuals speak about it. She is fairly knowledgeable and clear on what she or he or they, on what they're talking about, the bald person, but he's very prepared. Like, he understands it's going to be very hard to change his mind because he knows what he's talking about and has a lot of evidence to put behind it. Whereas she does not have that much evidence, probably just mainly because it's such a new thing. But it's good to hear two people, King Kong it out, battle from the top, and mad respect to both of them. But at this point, I think she's just digging herself a hole, and a lot of her points do also sound like sugar.
Thank you very much for watching our video, guys. Please put like, dislike, and comment below your opinion regarding genders. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, pressing the notification bell, and I'm gonna see you next week.
Man, I used to live in Canada and we made 3 rules about them. Rule number 1, Canadians do not break the rules. Rule number 2, Canadians will always tell you if you break the rules. And rule number 3, you're not Canadian unless you're passive aggressive.
I mean, looking at the Facebook metaverse, like, we're literally all going to have avatars anyway. So this is a real me, but we're going to enter the Facebook metaverse to go to work and to go to painting classes, and we might be a 6-foot dog. Who knows what our avatars will be and what they're allowed to be, but at this point in time, bringing avatars into real life, I think that's a bit kind of weird.
What if you told me that you